Yeah, yo, I'm back. The number one G. Here we go. All right, we're live. Well, we're not live, but it's recorded. We're here with testing. 1, 2. All our microphones on? What's going on here? Testing, testing. Oh, I turned it down. I was like, not again. No. Okay, yeah, I can hear. We're here with MC Free and Creative Image. I was gonna say Image Creative, dude.
Image creative.
Creative Image, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a interesting name, bro.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that name?
You know, it's kind of funny because everybody asks me that. One day I was praying and I was like, you know what, God, I don't know what you want me to do. And he goes, I need you to do what I've called you to do.
Oh, snap.
And I'm just like, what? You're created in my image.
Oh.
And I'm just like, there it is.
Oh.
Creative image.
Nice, man. That gave me chills, bro. That gave me chills, man.
And you know what, brother? After that, God put it in my heart to make a studio, a recording studio. Didn't even know how to record. Didn't even know how to do anything.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the recliner. I was like, God, what do I want to do? Just buy this, buy that, do this. All right, cool. So I have in my room stacks of foam, microphones, headphones, computer, interface.
Yeah.
Don't even know. And I'm over here on YouTube. How do you put interface in a computer, you know? So yeah, that's how that happened. But that's how I got my name.
Wow, dude. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, how did he get that name?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So you got a studio.
A studio, yes.
You built it yourself.
I built
it. And you know how to record?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've heard your music and stuff. And so you've been the one recording it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice job, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Nice job. Because that sounds professional, bro.
Yeah. It's my second day, you know.
Nice. I think it took me years to even, and I still don't think I get it right, man.
Yeah, there's always something new to know about that. Yeah.
Well, and there's always new programs coming out.
Right.
New
programs keep on top of that stuff, man.
But anyways, for people that are listening right now, there's going to be like truck drivers. There's going to be a lot of different people that are just listening. Mm-hmm. Why don't you guys tell them what you guys do, a little bit about yourselves, and just tell them what you guys do.
Go ahead, baby. I'll let you do it.
Go ahead, MC Free.
Yeah, MC Free.
I mean, you got MC in your name, so I think we know what you do.
Yeah.
Well, we travel not only with music, but we take the word of God out to the streets, the highways and the byways, if you will. We go wherever the Lord calls us to go. I do Christian rap. I do worship. And my husband here, he does Christian oldies. And so we go around and just share our testimony through song. And just, you know, love to fellowship with people as we go about. I don't know if you want to add on to that as well.
You know, I do old school too, old school funk, Christian funk, oldies. I do praise and worship as well. You know, God has just been good. You know,
yeah.
Wherever we go, we do by faith. You know, there's a story that I want to say, but probably a little later in the podcast. And you know, this woman right here, she's the one that built me up in faith, but really made me believe that where God takes us, He's gonna provide. You know, because there's a lot of situations where I'm just like, how are we gonna do it?
Yeah,
just go. Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm driving this.
Yeah, I think that's what people don't get about us.
Yeah,
that it gets tough.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time. I mean, there's plenty of times, but one time, you know, they called me to do this outreach, and I was like, man, I'm broke. I didn't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
My car's breaking down, right? And I'm like, okay, God, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. So what I was doing, I was driving on the right side, the right side of the road, just in case my car broke down. Yeah. I would have to pull in somewhere, right? And so I was like, okay, I was driving on the right, you know. And then I made it, and then we did the outreach and everything. I prayed with some people, blessed some people got saved. And then the interesting part is this little old lady comes up, gives me $20. I only had enough fuel to get there. So
Wow.
I was completely driving on faith. And so if she wouldn't have gave me the $20, I would have made it back home.
Right.
So it's like those are the kind of like people don't understand
Mhm.
that happens in our
Yes,
ministry.
Yes.
You know, because people want the glamour and the fame, like, oh yeah, you know, a rapper, musician, like all this stuff. But it's not quite like that.
Nope.
Yeah, I know we're up on stage sometimes, but it's not quite like that.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You just don't know what's gonna happen, you know. And yeah, we love to travel. Even before ministry, I would love to travel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but when me and my wife MC Free we met, and after that we've been really traveling a lot lately. You know,
Yeah.
and it's been a blessing. It gets hard, you know, like you were just saying. You know, how are we
Yeah.
gonna do it? How are we gonna eat? How are we gonna do this? Well, you know, me, I'm raised old school. You know, grandma and grandpa make a meal.
Beans and rice.
There you go. Make some meal, make some burritos, make some sandwiches, and let's go.
What's in the fridge? Mom, we ain't got nothing. What's in the fridge? Some tortillas and cheese. Oh, there you go. Then
Chris.
Yep. You got a quesadilla.
Yeah, there you
You're
go.
blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, actually, I was needing some more input.
Now, when how long have you guys been married?
we've been married going on 4 years, right? 4
Mhm.
years, yes.
4 years. Nice,
4
man.
years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I know the first year is probably the hardest
It
because you got to
was.
adjust.
Getting
You
to
gotta
know each
adjust.
other really, really, you know, we were only dating for 8 months, and that's when, you know, on Christmas she didn't know nothing about it, and that's when I asked her to marry me. And it was kind of funny because, you know, us men, you know, we just want to get it done, and yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Then her niece was all like, Adam, when I proposed to her, I was putting on the finger, right? And I was all nervous and stuff. And her niece is all like, Adam, wrong finger. I'm all like, ah.
Wrong finger.
So I'm like, okay. She goes, the other one, the other one.
The
I'm
other-
like, oh, thank you.
Oh man.
So that was pretty cute. You know what I'm saying? Like that was pretty cool. You know, they had my back on that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So but
Man.
yeah, we've been married 4 years, going on 5 next year.
Nice.
Known each other for what?
It's been years.
Going on
Maybe
16 years, 17
would
years,
say,
I want to
yeah.
say.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That
Yeah,
long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, God bless you, brother. God bless you.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's brother, babe.
Yeah,
It's
brother,
just-
babe.
Brother, babe.
Brother, babe, yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
17 years, yeah. Yeah.
Man, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys knew each other that long.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But you know what? And it's God's timing. You know, everything's
Yeah.
in God's timing. You know,
For
because
sure.
if we would have been together way back then, who knows if we would have been together today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just the things I would have went through. Who knows if I would have went through
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make me who I am today? And
Yeah.
vice versa. Same with her. You know. So,
I
but
truly
yeah.
believe that God had him go through what he went through to
Oh,
make
man.
him the man for me today. You know, same with me for him.
I just realized I didn't turn down my phone. I'm terrible. I was trying to do it quietly and then something came on. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, man. I think me and my wife, you know, I didn't know her until we actually met. You know, like I think we've been together. Man, I'm a butcher this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, babe. 18 years, I think.
Oh,
18
wow.
years. And but you know, it's interesting because when we talk about certain things in our childhood,
Mhm.
it's like we were around the same area.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
I was telling her I lived here, and she's like, "Oh, I used to go to my friend's house next door." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, there were some kids there. Like I didn't like them." And it's like, like, there's some girls there. I didn't like them, you know? And it's like, but yeah, like different. And you never like God was crossing paths, you know,
Mhm.
this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know her until, you know, adulthood,
Mhm, mhm.
you know, but it's crazy. And so like you guys knew each other 16 years,
Yeah.
just crossing paths, didn't know, you know, that you guys one day you guys will be married.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's crazy. I God orchestrates those things, right?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. It's like just a bigger plan that we could ever imagine, man.
Right.
True.
Right.
It's so crazy. But you guys are going to. I saw you guys going to Texas, right?
Yes, we are
You guys.
going to Texas August 31st to Dimmitt, right?
Dimmitt, Texas.
Dimmitt,
Yeah.
Texas.
Man.
We
Okay.
are going out there for, well, we're going to take our car out there. Also, we do have a second ministry, which is Car Club Redeemed. We
Redeem.
have
Shout
that.
out to Redeem Christian
Shout
Car
out
Club.
to Jimmy, Daddy, the founders. And so we were just going to sing out there, but, God put it in my heart. It's like, you know what? Take the ministry, the Car Club ministry out there too.
Okay. So the
we're
whole gang's going.
Well, no, just it's gonna be me and her. We don't know if anybody else is going. It was said that they were, but just to support, don't bring any cars out. But we have a chapter in Texas that they're going to meet us up there. So we're going to show together. So
Okay.
Texas and Arizona are going to be showing.
There's a Redeemed chapter in Texas.
In Texas,
Yeah.
huh?
Really? It's nice.
We have one in California too.
Shout out to California.
Nice,
Redeemed,
nice.
Texas Redeemed. Yeah. So
Yeah, Jimmy's so humble, man.
Yeah.
So he doesn't,
man,
he's so humble that, he just like, oh yeah, it's a little thing. But no, dude, you did a great big thing. And so like when I was talking to him, he's like, oh yeah, it's cool, I'm like, no, dude, I want to shake him. Like, you know what you did? You changed the world, man.
Just be like,
yeah.
It's all God.
Like you changed the world, brother. But yeah, so I didn't even know. I was, after I was like, is there a California one? Is there a Texas one? So that's interesting. Yeah.
So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do God's work and stay up there for a couple of days and come back and start over.
Is it just that one place, or do you guys have a different shows, or just that one?
No, it's just that one day.
Okay,
just that one day. Yeah,
okay.
It's just that one day.
I saw the flyer and it had a bunch of lines. Maybe it was the other artists or something.
No, those are categories of the cars.
Oh, okay.
I think they have like 30 different categories for placing for cars.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's what you're seeing. Yeah,
that's probably it. Nice.
So, but yeah, we're excited. Kind of a little nervous because it's the first time we're taking our car out there.
Yeah.
So
how did you? I mean, you guys been over there, so how did you guys?
Well, we actually rented.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because we would take our PA system out there. The last time we went, we took our PA system, so our PA system would fit in our car. So we rented like an SUV.
Yeah.
Like a little SUV. So it wasn't too shabby. But, it's not like driving your own car. Your car. So that noise and be like, hey, that's a new noise. What's going on with that? So yeah, we're pretty stoked about it. We're pretty excited.
Nice.
They reached out to us and we're like, yeah, sure, we'll go. So
what makes it awesome too is that the Texas Redeemed and in Arizona, this is the first time we're actually meeting.
Oh,
like
really?
We've been in meetings and stuff like that, but to be at a same car show together at the same time, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
We're going to make Redeem history.
Yeah, that would be considered
nice, man.
Put in the history book. So not only is God going to bless a lot of people out there, God is bringing unity. Car clubs and
for sure
all stuff out there, and it's just amazing what God does.
Buckeye, I was the first one to put a Christian show here, a lowrider show in Buckeye. I think you were in it, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
school?
Yep. It was Redeemed here. It was Breaking the Boundaries. Maybe Jesus is King, right? I think they were here. Yeah, they were here. But yeah, and that turned out pretty good. Yeah. But I haven't done it since. Maybe one day, But it was hard because when we tried doing it, we were trying to do it in the park.
Okay.
And the city wanted all kinds of permits and all kinds of stuff, and it was like, you just got to jump through hoops. Yeah. And we're like, okay, we'll just do it at the school, and you don't need no permits. You just needed the insurance, which I had the insurance, so it was just a lot easier. But sometimes when you're trying to do like community outreaches and stuff, and you got to get permission from the cities, it gets so complicated.
Oh, man.
It is crazy. One time we did a show out there, and I didn't get no permits, and the cops came by. And they're like, we got noise complaints. You got a noise permit? I was like, no.
Yeah, everybody shh.
Yeah. I was like, can I just turn it down just a little bit? And the cops were so cool. It's like, hey, we appreciate what you're trying to do. We love it. you know, I'm all for it. A lot of the community is all for it because we were down in like 51st and like I think it was Thomas or something.
Oh, right in the hood.
Yeah. It was yeah. And so yeah, and it was a big crowd, man. You know, we had SOG out there, we had a couple other people, and but yeah, the cops came by and they're like, okay, you know, just maybe turn it down a little bit, you know? And so we turned it down a little bit and yeah, not that much. Like not that much. He goes, but if they do complain some more and I come back, you're gonna have to shut it down. And so, and then it was about to rain.
Oh,
It was about to rain. Like when we were setting up, it's like the clouds came through, and it was just about to rain. Like, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to put these speakers, man. We had the Warrior speakers out there. Back in the day, they had the big OPA systems, right?
They carried them.
Yeah, and everything wired, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, like these are expensive stuff, dude. I don't want to mess them up, right? And we're like, we're gonna have to shut down. And the pastor, Daniel, I forget his last name. He passed away. So, but he actually challenged me that day because he goes, we'll pray about it. It'll go away. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like the clouds are here. It's raining like just on that block. It's coming this way. And he goes, don't you have faith? I was like, well, yeah, but I'm looking at the clouds. I was like, okay.
Wait a minute.
I was like, man, this guy has faith. He's like, yeah, let's pray. Dude, we prayed. It rained completely around us, dude, but not where we were at.
Wow.
And that day, he challenged my faith, bro. Like he did, because I'm like, if it rains here, I'm gonna have to pay for all these speakers, man. These are thousands of dollars here, you know? Cheap. Yeah. And I was like, but he challenged, he because he was like completely like, oh yeah, we'll pray. And I was like, what? He challenged my faith though. Wow. And it raised me up. I had to look inside of myself and be like, okay, I need to step up my game here. Wow. This man's believing. Like this man's really believing. You know, I thought I was believing, but yeah, he challenged me, man. That was a trip. That was definitely a trip. Wow. Now, how many albums do you have?
I don't have any, but we are gonna be doing something next year. In the beginning of next year, I'm gonna do my first CD release.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
How many songs do you have?
Right now, I have 9.
9 songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be finishing one up here pretty soon.
And so you do like oldies, but you also rap.
I try.
I mean, you do pretty good.
I try.
You do pretty good, bro.
I also do the talk box too.
I saw that, and that's what I was gonna get at too, because you do the talk box, and so you do oldies, you do the talk box, and you rap. Now the talk box, how hard is that?
Oh,
it seems hard, bro.
All right, so you're talking about faith. It's pretty crazy how you're talking about faith, because I didn't know this was going on. Okay. I told my wife and my daughter that I wanted a talk box. And I said, if I ever get a talk box, I'm going to be learning. I'm going to learn it within a month and this and this and that. So I told them that maybe like 6 months before my birthday. Right. So I'm listening to, everybody in a talk box. I'm Googling it because my plan was to get one for Christmas for my birthday. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Brand new. Because I wanted to spoil myself. You know what I mean? So I'm all like, okay, whatever. Well, Roland, obviously, Roland.
Yeah, Roland does the talk box.
Okay, yeah,
and he's pretty good at it.
Yeah,
man.
no, he's
really good at it.
But I remember when he first started. Okay, he was like me. But I hit him up maybe three months before my birthday. I was like, hey, I heard you're selling, the talk box. He goes, yeah, I'm selling just the talk box, not the synthesizer, just the talk box.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, well, if I get that off him, so I'm planning everything, right? So I said, all right, God, this is what I want to do for you. If this is your plan, it's going to work. Right?
Yeah.
So one day I come home and I go to the room, and mind you, me and Roland used to practice all the time. So he used to bring the talk box. He used to go to the house and we used to, because I used to sing with them at Breakthrough Ministries.
Yeah.
And we used to practice all the time. So, that ended for a while. Well, still for a while. Then I get home after a hard day at work. Then I go in the room and there's literally the talk box and the synthesizer there. And it says
Nice.
happy birthday on there.
Nice.
The first thing I'm like, where's Roland? I'll come in and call me. I thought we were going to practice. What's going on? So with that saying, I told myself, okay, I really want to do this. God give me the strength. So within a month, I was working on every single day.
Okay.
And they would laugh at me because when I first started, they said it sounded like ducks in the room.
Oh, man.
They said it sounded like chickens in the room. And
I'm like, would you like me to shut the door while you practice?
Would you like me to shut the door?
And maybe like the 27th day, I finally got a whole lyric of songs out.
Really?
And that's where that song
Bumping.
Not bumping, not because that's rolling.
Oh, that is rolling.
That's rolling.
That is rolling. Yeah.
So so the other one that I was working on, I forgot the name of it. What is it?
I'm trying to remember the name too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're on the spot.
I am in the spot, brother.
Da.
I have so many songs. What is that one?
Well, you did a worship song.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called.
And then
That's what it's called.
It's called Oh Yeah. Okay.
And that's when the talk
it
box.
really is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody's all like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah. It's called Oh Yeah.
Said that. Oh yeah. That's the first song that I did the talk box with.
Nice, man.
And I was working on that for probably for like 2 months. I was working on it, just getting the notes down, getting everything down. And remind you, I've never played a piano. I've always messed with it, and oh, it sounds good. It sounds good. And another thing that I know it's from God is I couldn't do two things at once.
Oh, I couldn't do that either. When I first started rapping,
yeah,
I tried clapping and
okay.
I couldn't do it.
Okay, same thing here.
Yeah.
I would play the bass over there, and Roland's like sing, and I'm like, boom, you're out of tune now. I can't do this at the same time, But now I can play the piano, tube in my mouth, and sing.
Wow.
So that's how I know it's from God, because there is no way that I could have done it. I mean, to the power of God, there's nothing impossible. But the way I was asking God, that's how I know it's from God. Okay, if this is from you, God, everything's gonna fall into place.
Yeah.
Everything fell into place. Now I go out there.
Yeah, because 27 days doesn't seem that long to learn something, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's insanely fast.
I was doing it every single day. When I wake up, I'll be in the studio. When midday, I'll be in the studio. When I came home from work, gotta go in the room, guys. Love you. Bye bye bye. Tell me when dinner's ready. In the studio. Because I was so determined to do it.
Yeah.
Because that was like one of my best instruments that I can.
Oh, dude, you had Zapp and Roger, right?
Yeah.
You had
you had
whole
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
You had the other gentleman that brought it, the first one that brought it. I forgot his name, but it started off in a country song.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's right.
Start off in country.
I forgot about it. I thought it was Zapp and Roger, but
no.
they got it from a country song.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And that's how it all started. And that's how Stevie Wonder, he did it. He did it on a piano, but then he did it on a guitar too. Then that's when Zapp and Roger modified it to that sound.
Yeah.
And to like really speaking into it clearly. So they really got more of the technology for that to make it like a song. And
then of course everybody knows California Love, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The background California.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a sweet sound, man. It really is. It's a sweet sound, and it's definitely West Coast.
Yes,
it's a West Coast sound. Like when you hear that, you're like, oh, West Coast. Like that's straight West Coast right there. But I like the music video, man. The bumping music video.
Yeah,
I wasn't in it. I mean, I didn't get an invite, but it's all right. I could have been in the background, extra.
That guy passing by.
Yeah, like just passing back and forth by.
Actually, that came together with the quickness. Actually, he had a vision of it. We just put out a Facebook shout out. Hey, whoever
Yeah, yeah.
So bumping video was a little bit of my life story of where I came from and who the people I used to hang out with and stuff like that. And it was Roland is the one. Me and Roland are the ones that really started it off. And I told Roland, I said, Roland Nunez is the one that made the beat. But I told him, I said, we got to do something old school but
Yeah.
funky. And he brought that beat to the house, and I'm just like, this is what I want. And he goes, all right, you got it. So what are you gonna do with it? So we were there probably for like an hour, and that's when started coming up with the lyrics. The first lyrics were bumping that Jesus music. We bumping that Jesus
Oh yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah,
Then all
yeah,
of a sudden everything just started coming. It was just like we bumping that Jesus music until the day we die.
yeah,
Then it was like ain't no shame in my game. Then it just started flowing, and we just had just the hook.
yeah,
That was it.
yeah.
So when we would go sing it, or when I would sing it, Roland be on the talk box, and I'd just be saying that.
Okay.
So it was never a song. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
a beat and a hook. That's it.
Nice.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
So me and Roland are like, one of these days, we're gonna get some people going. Yeah, we're gonna get some people. A couple of people came, but it just wasn't where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling the vibe. I wasn't feeling the anointing. I wasn't feeling how this is the way God wants it to be.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and met my wife, and well, she came to me, and we were talking, and she was going through some situations, and she said, hey, keep me in prayer. All right, cool. So vice versa, keep me in prayer. So as time went by, we started talking, and we started hanging out and stuff, and we got married. And after we got married, I was just like, this, I want you to do something with this song. She goes, what? So that's when we met Joe Navarro with Queen Asha. And I tell the story all the time. He just gives his look like, oh, come on, brother. It's like he came up, he called me one day. No, actually, he came up to me. He goes, hey, brother. He goes, that bumping song is bad. He goes, I'm not saying you don't know how to sing. I was like, oh, here we go. He goes, but I think a girl should do this. And I was like, you know what? You're right. He goes, well, what do you think about Yasha? I was like, okay, let's take her to the studio. So did what she had to do, sounded great, and she put her lyrics in. My lyrics came right after their lyrics, so that's how everything came
yeah, yeah.
came into play. 5 years in the making, and the reason why I keep this song
Wow,
5 years,
5 years, dude.
yes, 5 years, maybe 3.5 years of just playing it the way it was, and 2.5 years just letting it rest, just letting it sit on the
Wow.
counter, nothing did with it. Then Roland sent me the track because I told him, I said, hey, I got these people, blah, blah, blah. So I keep this real close to my heart because it's something that's my my past, what I grew up in, lowriders, gang
Yeah,
members, cholos, cholas, and the theme of that video was just because we're Christian, that doesn't mean we still can't lowride,
yeah, yeah. For
or we
sure.
still can't have nice cars, or we can't still dress the way we dress, but we're in a different image.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So when Brother Ike, props to Brother Ike, when he's all like, "Oh man," he goes, I see it." So he filmed the video, and it's just a blessing, brother.
yeah.
The
No,
people,
the video is really good, man.
yes,
It was he did a great job filming it
yes, he
because he's got
did.
the arrow shots and everything.
Yes,
It's really nice,
yes,
nice.
yes.
He put it together really
He
nice.
did,
So
he did. And shout outs to Brother Ike, and he says that video happened in God's timing,
yeah,
how it needed to be, what it was, and what it needs to be. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure.
it was just amazing. Then my wife right here, she's helping me out. She was pushing me, and you know how wives are. You gotta go. Come on, you gotta do it. Don't give up.
But then it
Yeah.
flips on me. He's like, "What
Vice
about you?
versa.
We're not talking about me right now."
What about you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you have how many music videos do you have?
um, I have three,
Three.
three actual music videos.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember you shot one with the dance crew, right?
Yeah, it was the first video of the Valley.
The Valley,
Yeah.
and that's talking about what is that? That's talking about depression, right? Or what is it talking about?
Just through, I guess at that time and period in time, I should say, yeah, it was about the depression and just basically getting through your life as you're walking through through those moments and times, and it was also like, well, just because of the life I was living at that time.
Yeah.
So it was just, reading Psalms 23. I've always was seeing it like at funerals. You would when you would hear that most of the time.
Yeah.
But there was one time as I was reading it, it just was like God just brought it to a whole different light for me. It was like, just gave me that picture of you literally walking through that valley, and He's just like, I'm not gonna leave you there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, there's what's that saying? There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep. There's always a light at the end of the
Yeah,
tunnel.
but it's like, so it came to me in that light. It helped me through the moment I was going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, it also spoke to a lot of, the young people too that were part of that song.
Yeah.
So, just the way it came together again, like the way he was saying, it just happened at the right time. Not only that, it was like God just speaking to me as I was writing that song.
Yeah.
And it was Him speaking to me as I was writing it. And it was just crazy how, I was just sitting there, I remember just, crying out to Him, sitting at the kitchen table. And I wasn't even rapping at that time when that song first
Really?
came to me.
Were you just singing?
I was just reading the Word, and I remember just sitting there at the table, just crying my heart out. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read. So I opened up the Bible, and of course I did one of those things. You just open the Bible, whatever I read first,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it happened to be Psalms 23.
Nice.
So I start reading it. I'm like, okay. And then I just began to cry and just, pray to Him about my situation. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, I just felt like get a piece of paper, write down what you're feeling. So I started getting the notebook and start writing. But it wasn't even, it was like, it was such a deeper feel with it, because it's like, it wasn't so much me just writing my feelings. It's like, it's hard to explain, where I just felt like it was God that just was giving me the words. And as I was writing, it was Him speaking to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's
No, yeah, that's it's got a very good a good message, you know what I'm saying, for people that are struggling. So yeah. Now how did you get saved?
Oh,
How long have you been saved? Because I've known you for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we go
way back.
Yeah. Remember we did a show that nobody came.
Yeah.
I put it together. It was one of my first shows that I put together. Remember, it was at a church out there.
Yeah.
And I think that we had like 5 people there.
5 people. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe even 6. I don't know. But we had me, you, my wife, my kids were there. Our DJ, Tony, just one. A couple other people, man. But it is like nobody came. It was like I put this show together, nobody came. And I remember that. But you were there. And you were very encouraging, because you're like, yeah, we're just gonna do it, And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then a couple people showed, and we got to pray with them and stuff. And so, if it was only just those 2 people, whatever it was, it happened. But so how long have you been saved?
Well, I mean, trying to make it a short. I was actually born and raised in church, so
okay.
I think I would say I was about maybe 10 years old when I actually could say that I gave my life to the Lord.
Wow,
it was
that's
at
early.
a church service, for kids.
Yeah.
And about that same time, that's when I also received the Holy Ghost as well at the same time. But I want to fast forward from that. That was just, as in the intro, learning from my parents and growing, with them, going to church every Sunday night and everything. But I would like to say that the time, what I feel like when I actually gained that close relationship, where it was one-on-one with God, was after all that, even after I left the Lord for so long. It was when I came back and renewed myself with Him.
Yeah.
Is when I want to say that was actually my true.
How old were you then?
Oh,
20s?
I was already about a little after my 20s. I'd say about 20. I can't even give it a specific age, but it was after that.
And what made you come back?
Well, just just a little bit of, from being dragged, being out there in the world and thinking that, hey, I didn't need the Lord, just
Yeah.
I got so bitter and everything, what caused my whole, like, just with church and everything that was going on at that time in my life, or chapter, I should say. But finally, I just was like, I can't do it. That's when I really realized, hey, it's true. I can't be without God. When you get to know God before the fact, and then you go out to the world,
Yeah.
it's like, it's kind of a messed up thing, because now you know what it is to serve
Yeah.
God.
So you always have that
Yeah,
voice,
you have
right?
that in the back
That,
of your mind, and
yeah.
you remember the sermons that you sat in for hours. You remember the altar calls. You remember those
Yeah.
things. And you
I have
remember,
that when I go through road rage. Like,
yeah.
guys over here, like, hey, David, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you remember those things, and that's the first thing that that it kept tugging at me every single time. I could be at a party and I was drinking, doing my thing, and in the back, I'm just like,
You're not even having
yeah,
fun.
it's like it's messing up my high.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I don't want to think about this stuff. I mean, it's weird because a lot of people they haven't heard that side. Like I
Yeah.
was telling him, and he's just like, "What?" Like, I mean, nothing compared to what he's been through, but still, it's like,
Well, that's a true testimony to the word train a child in the way that they should go,
mhm,
and they won't depart from it. When they get older, they won't depart from it,
mhm,
right? They might sway a little, they might go a little bit here, try
right,
doing this, try and doing that, but that voice is always
Yeah.
there. The spirit of God is
yeah,
always there,
mhm,
saying, hey, you know better than this. So
Mhm.
that's amazing,
yeah,
because yeah, you don't hear a lot of those stories, and I
yeah,
think they're great stories. I have
yeah,
a friend. He was raised in church. He's always been in church. He's a pastor now.
mhm,
And man, that guy's the most blessed that I know.
Mm.
And I think it's because he kept that course
yeah,
all through his childhood up and and he's like blessed.
yeah.
He's like a millionaire. He's blessed.
Wow.
But everywhere, whatever he did, he was
Yeah.
always getting blessed.
Mhm.
So even I remember one time he found this car at this abandoned house, or it was an abandoned house. It was just in the backyard, but the car looked like all beat up and stuff.
Mhm.
And it was a one of a kind super sport, like 70 something Monte Carlo.
Oh
Mm.
wow.
It had the one with the windows that were like two windows in the back,
Okay.
in
Okay.
the top, the ones that come off. I
Mhm.
don't know what year that was, but they only made so many that
Mm.
year of that. And he got it for like $500.
What?
And it ran.
I'm all.
It ran. It was just been sitting there for years. All he had to do was change the batteries and I think the like the starter or something. And it ran. Like it was
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, and it like he bought it for like $500, and then people saw him and they wanted to pay him like 20,000 right there.
Mhm, mhm.
You know? And he wouldn't sell it at that time, but like stuff like that. He
Wow.
just always blessed. But he was from young.
Mhm.
I never saw him do like bad things. I'm pretty sure he sinned, right? Because
Yeah.
we're not perfect.
Right.
But he never went all crazy doing crazy stuff like I did. And but he, he kept in church and did good. And the man's blessed. He owns a few businesses and stuff, and but everything, like he gets deals. Like he gets everywhere he goes, dude. Like he was sitting at like a ballpark or something with his kids, and this guy comes up to him and said, here, I'll sell you my truck for like, just give me whatever. And yeah. And he's like, well, I don't need a truck. I have a truck.
Mhm.
And the guy's like, no, I don't want to keep it because I'm going through stuff and it's going to be taken away. So if I just give it to you or sell it he's like, well, just give me whatever. And he's like, well, I don't know, I think I got $300. $300 F-250, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Dually.
$300, huh?
The guy comes up to him,
Wow.
just gives him a truck because he was gonna go through some court stuff and he was gonna,
Lose
they,
it.
they were gonna take it away.
Wow.
So he was just trying to. But like, who does that? Where does that? Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, I want a truck.
For $300.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think he gave him less than that. He's like, oh, I think I only have like 250. So it's like something like that. But the dude, like, is just amazing. But it goes to testify, like, if you stick with God, you know, and then to your testimony too, like, I try to do things, but God was always with me. So I couldn't even enjoy the sin, right? And that's amazing. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure it was terrible as a young person trying to sin, but it's amazing as a father, as you know what I'm saying, as parents, like when you're training your child to know that, hey, if they ever do kind of sway around, they ain't gonna enjoy it because God's gonna be right there.
That's what I tell my older daughter, which it was a learning process for me too. But that's a whole nother story. But just like you're saying about, I know that I raised her to know about God and to be in church and to read His Word, and of course, you know, as they get older, then they try to, you know, they're trying to figure out, hey, I'm still wanting to serve the Lord, you know, especially when they get that specific age. Now they're trying to find them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I know you know what I mean, but you know what I mean. But it's like,
there's a certain age there that they get where they think they know a lot better than you.
Well, let me try it. I'll do it different than you, you know. But
you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah,
you don't understand what I'm going through.
Exactly. But I say that because it's like now, even through that trial, I had to sit there and I'm like, I don't know what to do, because it was my first daughter going through situations, and I'm just like, what do I do? You know, I don't even know what to do. I'm like stuck. But no, it's now I could say, like, all we have to do is just be like, Holy Spirit, activate. Why? Because now it'd be like the way I was.
Yeah.
When I sat back and I really thought about how I was out there, I was thinking about that after everything, and I'm just like, you know, like that's what's happening to her.
Yeah.
She's out there, and sure enough, you know, she has her own little testimony, not little, but her own testimony.
Yeah.
And she'll say the same thing. Well, hey, I you know, I felt like this, I went through that, whatever. And so it was learning experience.
No, it's amazing though, you know, and that's as parents, you know, you got to be proud. You're raising your kids, you know, you still have a small one, you're raising your kids in a godly way. You know what I'm saying? That's what God has called us to do. So when they get older, they're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? They'll sway, but they'll be all right. But no, that's amazing. That's awesome. What I keep getting stuck here. What's going on? If I fidget, there we go. I was all getting, I'm like, go down, fall behind the chairs, like,
man down.
Where did he go? Yeah. Now, how long have you been saved?
Oh man, I've been saved since 20.
And by the way, that's your water, man. If you want some water, and then you got a water over there.
Cool.
Yeah.
2006, a year after my grandfather died.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was raised in church, Assemblies of God.
Oh wow.
And you know, strictly by the book. You know, so
Assemblies of God were strict.
Yeah, they were strict. Yes, they were.
I think they mellowed out now, right?
Yes. It's not so many of you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that.
Yeah. I think a lot of churches back then were really hard like that.
Yes. So was raised with Assemblies. My grandfather and my grandparents were pastors in Mexico. They had their church out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know Spanish?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Ahora vamos a transliterar esto por en español.
Okay. So allá en Mexico,
It's like, no, that's awesome, dude. No.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I used to go to Mexico, the way they used to talk to them, I'm just like, what are they talking about? They used to laugh at me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now if I go to Mexico, I'll be like, I know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. No, it's funny because when I was younger, I'd go to Mexico and I looked very white, like very white complected. I live in AZ, so I've gotten darker, but back then, man, I was really white, and so I'd go to Mexico and I can completely talk it. And people are like, what is this?
Yeah,
you know.
What is this?
But yeah, they're like, what is you know Spanish? I was like, yeah. One time I was in Monterrey, and they were stopping us at the bus, like the federales and stuff. They were stopping us, and they came straight to the back of the bus towards me. And I think what it was is they were trying to see if I was American, because we were deep in Mexico, in Monterrey, and if I was, they took me off the bus and they questioned me, and they asked me like, "Oh, are you from?" And I said no, I was Mexican, and because I knew if I spoke English or anything like that, they I was gonna have to pay some money. That's what they wanted. They wanted money. And I was like, no, I'm trying to cross the border right now. That's where I'm going. So I played it, and oh man, they let me go. But I was like, man, I don't want them putting me in jail or whatever. But my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no,
man.
you're
Go
fine,
ahead.
brother. You're fine. I was saved in 2006, a year after my grandfather died,
Yeah.
and I was real close to him, and God called, hey, I need you. God said, it's your time, you know. So I was going to Pastor Dan Eunice's church for a
Was it
while.
because of your grandpa dying that
Actually,
made you
no.
realize it?
Actually, no. Actually,
Really?
what made me realize is my mom. Because I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Yeah.
When I came home that Sunday morning, I was still drunk,
Oh,
partying
okay.
all night. Came
Okay.
home, living with my mom, and the townhome that she was living in, it was only a one bedroom, but they built an extra bedroom. It was like in the living room. Still had a living room, but it was like a little like a wall, like a four corner wall with the door in it. So I
Yeah.
slept in there, right?
It's Mexicans, man.
Yeah,
We can build it.
And so when the morning she opened the door and she goes, "Hi, mijo." She goes, "You just barely getting home." And as we try to lie, but moms and
Yeah.
I've been home. And she's all like, "Okay, mijo, just go to
Yeah.
bed."
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, I'm going to church. If you want to go, let's go."
Yeah.
I don't want to go to church, mom. Okay, it's smelling like beer, and I'm just drunk still,
Yeah.
Then I laid my head down. Then all of a sudden, just I heard her heels. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to church.
Really?
And I got up and I said, "Okay, mom, I'm gonna go to church. Let me wash up." And she got so excited. She got so excited. So then I went to church, and the crazy thing about it is that a year before my grandfather died on Father's Day.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. That's tough.
A year later, when I got saved on Father's Day.
Oh, wow.
The same month, not the same day, because you know how
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
are, the same month and the same next day as the year that my
Wow.
grandfather died, I was saved. So
That's
he
interesting.
died in June. Was it June? Yeah, Father's Day. Was it June? Father's Day, right? June 19th.
Wow.
I got saved a year later in June 20th, 2006.
Wow.
And I knew it was him because that night I slept with the Bible on my this is funny. I slept with the Bible on my chest. Literally, I used to deliver produce, so I was a truck driver. So
Okay.
I used to go to Tucson and Sierra Vista and way out there, So I put the Bible and I said, "All right, God, do what you want with me. I give my life to you, and here I am." 1:30 in
Yeah.
the morning, I heard God call my voice. Like literally call my voice.
You heard the voice.
I heard the voice and he
Yeah.
said, "Adam." And I'm just like, got up. I mean, it felt like I slept for 8 hours straight. Let me tell you something, brother. I had to be at the dock by 3 o'clock. I was at the dock at 2 o'clock because I could not go back to sleep. I was had so much energy. I said, I have to do something with this energy. So there I go. I'm starting delivering, go to a Denny's, and the guy's looking at me going down the ramp, just looking at, "Hey, bro, what you want? What you want, man?" Like I'm just like just on fire for God, bro, preaching to myself in the truck. I'm all like, "Oh, you sinner, you're gonna be a better life,"
Man,
So
you were evangelizing to
yeah,
yourself.
bro.
You
I
were
was like,
calling yourself
boom,
a sinner.
boom. Yeah, I was just because I knew because just the his voice is just something that you'll never forget. People are like, "Well, how do you know it's him?" Because it's him. Because it's just a voice that you just don't hear from your brother or from your pastor or from your whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a voice that it has the power, it has the anointing, it has that authority
Yeah.
where it woke me up at 1:30 in the morning. I was up until 9 o'clock that night.
Man.
And ever since then, now don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect Christian. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We all fall short of the glory of God, but I'm never ever gonna forget that day.
Man.
Until then, I just been going, doing what I had to do, trusting in God in everything I do. And oh man, it's been a journey, brother.
Man.
It's been
That's
a journey.
crazy.
Yes.
He just,
Yes.
man, that's funny, man. Like it's you heard God's voice,
Mm-hmm.
and then you were evangelizing to yourself,
Mhm.
calling yourself a sinner.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you were speaking to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like it's not like you only heard God's voice. It's like God gave you the words to speak to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like he made you a prophet for a second
Mhm.
to speak to yourself
Yep.
and
Yep.
and to receive it.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like you were that's like you were on both sides of the aisle. Like you were preaching and listening to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, brother. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Wow.
I'm all like looking at my like
Yeah.
looking in the mirror like
Man, that is crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
And ever since then, brother, I just, been going through the fire. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And like I said, nobody's perfect, but
Yeah, no, for sure.
for
I'm not.
God is nothing impossible.
Yeah,
For God is nothing possible.
no, for sure, man.
But
Yeah.
God has been really good to me. And before I met my wife, he's been real good to me. He's been faithful.
Mhm.
And it's kind of sad because sometimes we're not faithful.
Oh, we're definitely not faithful.
And it's it just hurts when when you cry out to God and he's still there. But the night before you were just not even thinking about God, you were thinking about doing what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
sure.
And you're just like, oh man, But God
Yeah,
is
for
love,
sure.
man. God is love.
God is love.
So yeah, so 2006 and now it's what 30 years? No, not 30 years, 20 years.
20 years to the man.
Yeah.
We're doing math. This is
I
it.
know.
20
16.
21 years. No,
26.
no,
Let me
yeah,
get
no,
the
20 years, 20 years, yeah.
calculator.
6.
Or 18.
All right.
19 years.
16. 20. Yeah, 19 years.
19 years, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think we're on 18 years.
18?
24.
24, yeah.
Yeah, 26 would be 20 years.
Okay, yes.
So
So 18 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time, though.
that's crazy, man. Yeah. I've been in I think I got saved when I turned 20. So I'm 43. 23 years, man.
23?
23 years,
Amen.
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd never in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never in my life thought I'd be preaching. I still wonder, like, God, you sure you want me to preach? Like, you want me to preach? Every Sunday, I'm like questioning God, like, like, hey, you sure, God? A lot of people out there qualified, but it's amazing because you never know who your music is reaching. You never know what this is gonna reach.
Yep.
And so it's amazing because you get people from all over the world listening to something, your music or testimony or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You never know how God's gonna use you.
Mhm.
And I don't put no limitations on God because I can meet a homeless person out in the street and they can preach to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you never know. I had one time I was talking to a homeless person and and we just started talking and I was like, man, this guy's blessing me. I don't know something about it. And I was like, hold on, wait here. Let me go get you some food. I'm gonna go run into the store. I'm gonna grab you a bunch of stuff, all this and that. And as soon as I turned around and I was talking to my friend and something, and I was like, I turned back around to tell him like, but wait here. The dude was gone. Like he disappeared. And I'm looking around like, where'd he go? And it goes to like what the Bible says. Sometimes you might be entertaining angels.
Yes.
And so even somebody could just be blessing you because I was like, man, this guy's a blessing. Like, I was trying to pray for him, but he was telling me some stuff about God. And I was like, man, that's a blessing, So you just never know. So I put no limitations on God, whether it's a little kid, old person, whatever, you just never know how God's going to use whatever. And I've heard God's voice in different places and different ways. And so just like, because somebody is probably going to question that. They're going to be like, well, he heard God's voice. I've never heard God's voice.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And so what you have to realize is that God speaks in different to different people.
Yes.
He might speak to somebody watching in a whisper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he spoke to you in a loud, clear voice. But the same, what you said is exactly the same. His power,
Mm-hmm.
his, you know, his just, you feel it, everything. His anointing, you feel it, whether it's in a whisper or a loud voice
Mm-hmm.
or shouts or whatever, right? Because, you know, Abraham was woken up, you know, from a dream. He was laying down. God spoke to him clearly. You know, uh, uh, um, Elijah. You
Mm-hmm.
know, God spoke through him through the wind, through a whisper, and through a voice. So we just never know. You know, and so the to somebody that's asking, like, man, I would like to hear God's voice, like Adam. Well, just ask for God to speak to you,
Yep.
but put no limitations on how
Yeah.
he's going to speak to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's what I would say to somebody out there watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
Amen.
amazing, man.
Amen.
That is amazing, man. And so what's on the coming up? You guys recording any music soon or?
Well, yes, I'm gonna be working on my second album, and that's gonna be nothing but talk box.
Okay,
So that's in the making. That's in the works. She's stuck on a song.
you're stuck. Oh, are you having writer's block right now?
You know, I would say I was saying stuck, but for some reason I really feel like it's something, you know, God has me on hold for
Okay,
a reason.
yeah,
And I wasn't too sure of that before, so I would tell him I'm stuck.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
what to do. You know, I don't know what direction this song's gonna go and this and that. And like the hook, it came perfect. You know, everything was good. You know, when the studio did the hook and everything, it's the verse. It's
Oh.
the verse that just it just wasn't. I know what it's supposed to be about. I
Okay,
know the concept.
okay,
It's just the writing it, like
Yeah, yeah.
how and what and whatever, you know. And
Interesting.
normally it
Mhm.
wasn't a problem for me. Like he can come to me and say, "Hey, I need you to help me with this," and bam,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on it. I get it done.
Interesting.
And then when it comes to my song, then I'm working. I'm just like, what's the problem here? He comes with another one. I help him with that, or you know, if whether it be with the hook or a verse or something
Yeah,
simple.
yeah.
Come back to this song, nothing. And I'm
Man.
just like,
Okay.
okay, you know. But I noticed that, you know, he's been having me not away from the music stuff, but I think it's just more concentrating with like, well, my girls. But at the same time, now he has me doing the Bible studies,
Oh,
which that
okay.
was a whole different thing in itself. But
Mhm.
I feel like my attention right now
Yeah.
is to go to that.
Now, is Bible studies with your
With
family or with
no
other people?
with other people, I go online and it's a Bible study of the women of the Bible.
Hmm.
And so I have different people from California, from I forget the other town, but there's California, and then around here I have some
And
other
and you're
ladies
doing that. How are you doing
on
that?
Messenger.
Oh, so straight on
Yeah,
Messenger.
straight on Messenger. So I just put out there, you know, it started off with me just doing that for myself.
Okay.
and so
Yeah.
and so I started just studying it, and I figured, oh, I'm going to share about it online. So I went
Yeah.
online and was telling about what I learned from it. And then one lady says, she goes, "Hey, you should do Bible study." And I'm just kind of like, "Oh, yeah." You know, that wasn't
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool." You know, and that's how I responded to her. I was like, "Well, yeah, we'll see what happens."
Yeah.
Well, then she was the first one. Then there was another lady reached out. She goes, "Hey, you know, that's awesome. You should do Bible studies." And the second time, I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
what happens." And so then I left it like that. And so I kept on studying for myself. And so then I remember just it kind of came into my mind again. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, but never did that before.
Yeah.
Never did Bible studies like that. So anyway, so I go to sleep. And I remember I wake up in the morning literally feeling this shame and like, how dare you type of feeling from God, literally.
Yeah.
And it's like he was just speaking to myself here, like, you know, these people are reaching out to you to hear of my word,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you're saying this.
Yeah.
I felt so low, like, oh my God, I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking I'm doing good because I'm trying to get information for myself. I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn for myself, just whatever. And it just went a whole different thing. And so I'm like, so
Yeah.
okay. So I said, okay, God. So I put on the line. I said, hey, if you guys are interested in Bible studies, I'm going to do it this Thursday at this time.
Yeah.
I mean, these ladies were jumping on. All together, I had like 20 ladies all together.
Nice.
Now, do they come all on at the same time? No.
Yeah.
But I've noticed ever since I've started, there's either 2, 3 ladies. Sometimes it's just one. Sometimes it was just me.
Yeah.
And so if it was just me, I would record it.
Yeah.
And I would post it there in our little group.
Yeah.
And so far, it's been turning out great. So
okay, so
I feel like that's what
the women that, so it's a women's Bible study.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the women that if they want to reach you right now, where could they reach you?
Well, I mean, they can inbox me on my MC Free page.
So
and then if
MC Free, is it just MC Free or MC Free Ministries?
MC Free Music Ministries.
Music Ministries. So go on Facebook, MC Free Music Ministries, and just message her there, and you can have that for any woman that's listening out there. Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah, and that could be just it. God's like, hey, I'm gonna pivot you from here to there, or maybe somebody else is supposed to be doing that verse and not you.
That's the other thing. Let's take us back to that. Yeah. I was we were at an event, and I was talking with one of the other brothers, and because he had asked, it's like, hey, how's it going with music, this and that. So I was sharing a little bit, but at the time I was speaking with him, I was like, or it's not even me. They're supposed to write it. Exactly what you said.
Maybe.
And I was like, but hey, okay. So he goes, well, I'll help you pray for that. And we left it at that.
Yeah.
So I go back. Well, then as time was going on, now God's given me already the vision of what the music video is going to be like.
Okay.
And I'm just like, how am I getting that if I don't even know what the verse or how I'm going to write the verse, And so I'm just sitting here like I don't understand.
So obviously, if God's giving you a music video, He doesn't want you to stop this.
Exactly.
He just maybe it's not you supposed to be doing that verse.
Exactly. So
yeah.
So that's what the prayer is about. Like, okay, God, I want you to clarify to me. Is it me? Give me the words if it's me. If not, then show me who. Because I did a mistake by jumping ahead. And you know how sometimes they sound good. I'm gonna have them be on the song.
Yeah.
Why? Because they sound good, or because you like the way they rap, or maybe they are anointed, but it's just not for the song,
Yeah.
And so I did a mistake by doing that one time, and it was a forced thing, It's like by the time we got together to record and everything like that, it felt like I was the one always reaching out. Hey, are we gonna do that? Are we gonna never, And finally, when it did happen, it just felt like it was just, what I mean. And the song never came out though because of that reason.
Yeah.
And so I don't
I've been featured on stuff that never came out. Right. So I'm on the other side of that.
I mean, trust me, I've been there too. So I know what you mean. Is that song coming out?
But to me, I because it's what you're saying. Yeah. Because maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be in it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe if it does, it comes out later. Whatever it is. You just got to trust God in His process.
Yeah.
And so I don't get like, why didn't you put this out? Or like, nah. And I even tell people like, hey, let me know if you don't like it.
Right.
Okay. Like, be honest with me. Because if you don't like it, I can try a different way. But if it's not working out, then you go a different way.
Right.
Because sometimes we're different artists. And sometimes that the same vibe is not going to go in a song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
And sometimes we're trying to force things, and it just doesn't work that way. You want to create something that's beautiful and great, and obviously that honors God.
Right.
But sometimes when we're forcing it, it just, we're not, it's not good. It's not fitting. It's like Cinderella. You're trying to fit that shoe. It's not it, bro. That's not the one. That's not the one.
That's true. So I just, that's one thing that we're in prayer about. And I don't know. I mean, I know that He has something great. I know He does. And I don't want to overstep that. So I'm kind of a little like, I'm telling him, I don't want to just write something just to write. I want it to flow like it always does. God works with you and how, when you do your writing, how you do your writing.
Yeah.
When He's giving that to you.
Yeah.
Just like with Him, He knows. And that's what I was telling him. I was like, I don't feel that yet. I don't feel the way that He always does when I'm writing something. And so I was like, so I have to wait for that.
Yeah.
And so, that's one thing that I pray to God. I was like, I don't know. Is it something that I need to see before you can move? Or is there
Yeah,
something I'm not doing yet that you need for in order to move? You know, like
man.
is there something stopping me that I'm not seeing yet? And these are my
Mm.
constant prayers every day.
Those
Like,
are good, man. Those are very like
and I'm just
good
like,
questions towards God. I don't think
be,
a lot of people do that.
so I'm just sitting there like, what am I doing wrong? You know, like, but it wasn't so much about doing wrong. It's about, I feel like it's not always about, hey, what are you doing wrong? It's about
Yeah,
what do you still need to do before you can do that? You know,
yeah,
so I'm just like, okay. So I'm just like, all right, God, I'm just gonna continue doing with what I know.
yeah,
And when he gives me the inspiration for stuff, that's when I know that, and not just inspiration, but just like that, that push.
yeah.
Yeah, when I feel that, I tell myself, like, gotta go to the studio. Why? Because it's like I
Oh
feel
yeah,
it right there and
yeah,
then.
yeah. You
There's
gotta do
times
it right
where
there.
they're 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, babe, you gotta get the studio going on. Oh,
yeah,
all right, I'm
Oh,
half asleep plugging
now you want
things
to?
in.
yeah,
I'm just relaxing.
And I
But
tell her,
yeah.
I said, whenever you feel like if the studio's right there,
Mhm.
just let me know. I'll start hooking it up, mic checks and everything.
it's nice though, man.
It is.
That's
It,
good.
it is really nice. And when God told me to build the studio and when I met my wife, I'm just like, oh, that's why you want me to build the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
So things
So
started
you built the
making more
studio
sense.
before you met her.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
4 years before I even met her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, when we started talking,
Wow, isn't that amazing, dude?
it's God has a sense of humor, brother.
Wow.
God has a sense of humor. He's like, I'm gonna get you all this. I'm gonna make you stress, and I'm gonna show you later. Just
Yeah.
do what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's been crazy, but
and
awesome.
yeah, and we've recorded a lot of songs in the studio, and
Nice.
like you were saying earlier, there's always something new that you get to know in the studio. There's all these
Yeah.
plugins that you have to do,
Yeah.
and you have to keep up on them. And I'm real simple, man. It's if it sounds good and it
Yeah.
it
I
rocks, it's good.
yeah, I keep all the old programs.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
I remember I brought a young kid and he knows how to record and he knows all this and he's like, "What are you using?" I'm like, "Well, you probably don't know it because this has been out probably half your age, you know." And I'm telling him, and he's like, "Oh, do you use Pro Tools? Do you use this? Do you use all this like brand new stuff and all this?" I'm like, "None of that, none of that."
You take
You
out
know?
the Atari.
Yeah, yeah, that is Atari. It's the faxer machine. You got to plug this in. Like, yeah,
This
no, dude.
never failed me.
Yeah, you got
Oh
you got to
man.
touch this and this wire at the same time. Hold these together while I record. Oh man,
Oh man, that's
no,
funny.
yeah, yeah, dude. It's always a learning thing with
Yes.
music, man, and all these programs. My whole thing. So this is a brand new laptop. Just the just a few weeks ago, my whole thing crashed,
Mm.
and so I had to get a new laptop. And doing all the things that I do, I have to get a powerful laptop, which costs a ton of money.
Yes.
Recording wise and all that, you need, and then also I still do a little bit of video editing and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? All this I try not to edit anything of this, stuff like that. But but yeah, so I didn't know, like, all like my music. I was working on some music, gone, like
Oh no.
gone, everything. I was like, man, this is sick. I was feeling this one, and I was like, and it's gone. But I'm like, whatever, God. Like,
Mhm.
whatever you do, whatever happens, however, maybe you're gonna bring it back to me later on, because I'm gonna try to get that laptop fixed. So maybe, or maybe it's gone forever. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I don't know. But you just gotta trust God in those situations. You gotta
Yes.
trust him in everything, you know, and you gotta trust him in your walk. And obviously, you guys been walking with God for a very long time. You guys been
Yes.
trusting him and staying faithful. And even what you're saying, man, that's faithfulness.
Mhm.
To be like, okay, God, is there something I'm missing here? Is there something? Because most people are like, just keep trying or keep doing.
Yeah.
It's like that Balaam and the donkey, right? Like, you keep beating up the donkey, keep trying, right? And it's like, no, God's trying to prevent you from something here.
Yeah.
So that's really good that you're self-observed and spiritually self-observed to know that. Because most Christians are like, no, just keep trying, keep butting their heads,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
I can't get in, God. Quit butting your head, dude. Your head's already big enough.
He's like, the door's not opening.
Yeah.
It's not ready yet.
It's not. Yeah. No, yeah. We have to know the differences, man. We have to know. Tell me tell me one tough thing that maybe can help somebody out there that maybe you have went through, or something that you want to talk about, maybe a time in your life that can help somebody out that God brought you out of.
Oof.
And you can pick whatever. It could be simply as a grocery store or whatever. I don't know. You know, the time I couldn't pick a right tomato, you know, whatever you want to talk about. But, you know.
Well, I think I could go with something more recent. As a mother,
Mhm.
I think that's what the thing that comes to my mind right away without having to think. I mean, there's plenty of things that he's brought me out of,
Yeah.
plenty of things, and it's just I just have to say with my older daughter, it was a new thing for me because I've had her since she was little, going with me here and there, as even if it was concerts. I mean, she
Yeah, I
would be at
remember
the
her from
stage with
little
me.
one. Yeah.
And then to see her grow into this young lady, and then all of a sudden start straying,
Yeah.
start doing the things that you wouldn't imagine, as in for your kid to be going through.
Yeah.
And seeing that whole different chapter in her life, and
Yeah.
as a mother to try to also learn from it.
Yeah.
And how to correct my emotions
Mm.
by not going off of my emotions,
Mm.
and to
That's a
literally
tough one.
and to literally trust that, hey, God got's her.
Yeah.
It's like and it's like a lot of times it would come back to me, as in like, what have you taught her, and what are you showing her?
Mm.
You taught her to trust in God, but are you trusting in God? It's like through the whole
Come on now.
time, it was an emotional thing. I mean, he could tell you, I'm just like, babe, I can't do this and this and that. And there's times I'll just be crying my head off.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he'd be like, it's going to be okay. Like he would have to be the one to be like,
Yeah.
hey, remember this, or it's going to be okay. She's going to see that, God's working with her, whatever. And then again, with him too, like he would get, seeing her go through this stuff. So then I'd have to be the one to be there for him too, as in like, hey, she's gonna be all right. Like, because he is, he came into their lives. For those who don't know, I mean, he is, I don't like saying stepdad, because he's literally stepped into their life as their dad.
Amen.
And
Yeah.
and he's been there for my daughter. I think at the time, the older one, she was what, 17?
17 at the time. Yep.
She was 17. So it's like he came in at a perfect time for her, because my oldest, she really didn't have that foundation
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
should have had.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the time she knew about the Lord and everything. It was more because of me. Her father at that time didn't go to church. He just, it wasn't what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so she didn't really have that father figure that would lead her.
Yeah.
When it comes to church.
Yeah.
And so when he came into her life and everything, it was about, he was there helping her. We'd prayed together. We'd, do things that we've always talked about one time wanting to have.
Yeah.
And here it is,
Yeah.
And the way she would always put it, she goes, he was the savior. Like, she knows, not savior as in savior, but savior for our family, as what we were praying for, as just us, me and my girls.
Yeah.
In our life. And so anyway, so he would go through that, and I'd be like, because he literally was like, in raising the young one now, she's, they're the daughters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we were comforting each other, but through that process, he was just like, she's gonna be all right. He has an older daughter. She's 24 now.
24.
And so he's been through his share of stuff,
Yeah.
And so God used that for him to show me, hey, I've been through this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Calm down, or whatever
Yeah.
the case, or let's pray about this, And so that would be something I would say, it's just that, that he took me from recently, because not only did he take me out of that, but he also showed me gave me where I needed to strengthen myself with him.
Amen.
Like, hey, you need to trust in me. This is what you showed her. Like, he would always bring back what I was teaching her. And it goes back to us as parents. It's like our kids look at us that more than we know.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you wonder why they get certain things, and we're just like, oh, that's right, I was doing that just the other day, and now you see your kid acting like that.
Yeah.
Or I was talking like this the other day, and now you see your kid. Now I can't even get after them because if they do something I just did it last week or whatever,
Yeah.
just and it's like, but they look,
Yeah.
and that's what was going on, and so God was just like checking me. So it was
Mm.
like and I still feel like He's still doing that, like before He can take me to the next chapter in my life with music or whatever. He's still showing me, okay, this needs to be checked, you know.
Amen.
So I would have to say, that from Him getting me out of these things, it was a blessing, and the only reason why is because I'm allowing Him to purify,
Yeah.
step by step. And
Amen.
and I would say that, whatever anybody's going through, just to sometimes you have to get out of those emotions, even though it's hard, because I'm a very emotional person. I am. And it's like if I get touched by watching a video, I'm just like, oh my God, I'll start crying. But if it was really touching, but it's like it's not a bad thing to be emotional, but at the same time, it's how to check your emotions.
Yeah.
But that's what I would.
Yeah, to know when the right ones should come out. Yeah. So instead of so basically, you weren't yelling at her or being like, well, did you guys get into those arguments of yelling and stuff? Or
yes, they did. They did, but then
but God would check you, like,
but God would be like, hey, watch how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Basically take me back, like I would think about how I was when I was that age.
Yeah.
So I know, and like I always tell her, it's like she would be like, oh, you don't understand. I'll be like, I understand more than you think I understand.
Yeah.
Just because when I was younger I went through this and that, just because you're going through this doesn't change the situation. There's still the same stuff, just different time.
Yeah.
It may be a little bit worse with things that are going on. But I was telling her, I was like, you think I don't understand? I already know what you're gonna do before you go do it. Why? Because of the way I've known her. I tell her, I know you a little bit better than what you know yourself. I could probably tell you what you're thinking right now, and there's a lot of times, I was right, which I didn't want to be right sometimes, with that, because I was like, but there was one time, again, as I was trying to, also work with myself, I really felt like the one time, it's like she just wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
And she kept going back to doing the things that she wanted to do. And I was just like I just felt the peace of God. And I remember telling her, I said, look, if that's what you decide to do, she's already of age now, okay, at that time when she was going through a situation, and I was like, if that's what you're going to want to do,
yeah,
then okay, that's your decision. However, in this home, we have rules.
Yeah.
You may not like the rules. So if that's the case, then maybe you need to make other plans.
Yeah.
That's how I told her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love you, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not kicking you out, but I'm letting you know that this is what it is here.
I'm not kicking you out, but you got to make those decisions of how you're going to live in this house.
And so
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And
because most people are like, if you don't get out,
Yeah.
So that's a good way to put it. And that's wisdom right there.
Yeah. And it was a thing of like, okay, do they need us to holler at them or to show their love? I mean, I think there's a point where, you're going to raise your voice. You're human. You're going to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I don't want her to feel like she's by herself. Why? Because I know I felt like that. So I know that there's a difference. I know she's different than what I was. She's my daughter, but she's different. But at the same time, I remember certain things that I felt like. So I try not to. I was trying not to make her feel that same way. So in doing that, I walked away from that, and she stayed quiet. I didn't know what she was thinking. I didn't know what was going through her head, but I knew the peace that I felt. And I remember telling him, and I was like, she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Now it's him. We switched roles, and now he's like, what do you mean she's going to be fine? And going on and on. And I'm like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, how can you be like that? She's being like this and that. Okay, yeah. But for some reason, God was just like, he had to give me that peace.
Yeah.
And then God worked with him later, because his peace really he needed. And so
anyway, yeah, we can't have two parents panicking at the same time.
Exactly. So it's like we switch.
So no, that's the amazing part. Sometimes what brings a good marriage is like, one's calm, one's a little crazy, like, but
so who's gonna flip out today? Me or you? No, I'm just kidding. No, and so to jump from that, it's like God was just showing, hey, this, I have it under control. It's gonna be good. And then so then she ends up from that time, it's like she did a flip. I don't know. It seemed like it was just overnight. I would
Oh
have to say
wow.
what, a week,
A
maybe not
week.
overnight, but it was but within
Mhm.
a week's
Oh
time.
wow.
She completely just flipped from that situation to next thing you know, she's reading her word.
Wow.
She was just like every time just in the Bible, just really studying, and I'm just sitting there like, what? Well, then I remember seeing her do it, but then I told her, I said, hey, would you like to share your testimony in the Bible study? And normally she's the type where she, oh no, she gets all nervous and she's not
Yeah.
a people person really.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, yeah. I was like,
Oh
really?
wow.
Yeah.
So she jumps on the Bible study, and she shares
Nice.
her little her. Not, I keep saying little test. She shares her testimony,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I,
it's little because you think of about your kids as
yeah,
little, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
my little
yeah,
baby.
my little
I mean,
baby's
they,
like,
even when they grow up, they're still your little baby.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
Like they're always gonna be your little
exactly.
babies.
And
But
so
yeah.
it was just amazing because that was the first time that I heard what she was really thinking that night.
Oh wow.
And the way that God worked, I was just like, I was in tears just listening to her at that time. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. But if I would not have listened to him and I would have did it the way that I wanted to do it
Hmm.
in my flesh,
Yeah.
none of this would have took place it, right away. It would
Yeah.
have prolonged what he was trying
Yeah.
to do.
Mhm.
And that's the whole importance of obedience, you know. And it's like,
Hmm.
I'm just sitting here like, oh, you know, it's so hard sometimes to be obedient. Well, not sometimes, it's hard to be obedient. And I'm just like, okay, so if I would not have been obedient, this wouldn't have happened as soon as it did. And so she's there, giving her testimony, and the way she put it was, she said that the guy literally was just showing her after all that. She goes, I was thinking to myself, my mom, she's not being like, she's not kicking me out, she loves me. Like she
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
and she said that she was just playing that in her head, like my mom would never turn her back on me. Why is she being like this? She
Yeah.
never would
Yeah.
turn her
Yeah.
back. And she said that's what she was playing in her mind and thinking over and over the whole night. And then she said that she just felt like the Lord was just telling her, like showing her, like she's like, and then she goes, and that's what the Lord does to us, is what she said.
Oh
And she
wow.
goes, it's like he works with us and works with us, but then we keep going back and keep going back, is how she put it.
Yeah.
And finally he's like, okay, well, if that's what you want, then
Yeah.
that's, he gives us into our own sin, is what she said.
Yeah.
And she goes, and I believe that night, you know, she goes, that the Lord was showing me that example of what he does to us as his
Hmm.
children.
Yeah.
And my mom just said, okay, if that's what you want to do, then that's on you.
Mm.
And she said that that's how she visualized the way God was with us, that he does that. He tries to get us out of it and we keep pushing away. We
Yeah.
keep, no, we want to do it our way.
Yeah.
And this is how she was saying it. She goes, and she goes, and my mom was the example of what God does. And
Amen.
I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh. Like literally in my heart of hearts, I'm just like, God, if I would not have done it the way, if I would not have listened to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the learning situation from this is like, when, even though it's the hardest of the hardest to obey, it's like you have to, because we prolong his work.
Yeah.
We prolong what he wants to do in our lives or anybody else's life when we want to do it our way,
Yeah.
and we think it's better
It-
sometimes.
That is a good parenting teachable moment for somebody that might be going through this, to really listen to God and do it his way. Because yeah, most of the time those things could be very blown up into an
Mhm.
argument
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, get out of here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all this and that, right? And
Mhm.
then you don't talk for like months or something,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing, man. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then your kid to be in the Bible study, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, the Bible study obviously was meant to be,
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing. Yeah. Wow. You're not gonna top that. I'm just kidding.
I'm
Like,
all like, yeah, I know.
I got nothing. No.
I have nothing.
No, dude. No, I mean we all go through
Yeah.
different situations and stuff. Is there any testimony that you want to share or anything that just,
Testimony. Well,
whatever you want to share that might bless somebody out there?
I know a lot of people suffer from this, is alcohol. I was a real heavy drinker.
Really?
Really heavy drinker. I
You-
got
Every
to-
day or
every single day since
Really?
I would wake up.
wow.
And,
Okay.
it's just like breakfast to me, and first of all, I just want to thank God for him for saving my life, because there was a time and day where I was literally in the hospital dying because I just got alcohol poison.
This was before you got saved?
Yes, yes, this was in 2020
Wow.
2004.
And that didn't even stop you.
That didn't even stop me.
Wow.
And it's just like it just got to the point where I couldn't stop. Just couldn't
Wow.
stop. Could not stop. Just every single day. And I'm not gonna say it was depression because I wasn't going through nothing that day.
Really?
I'm through all that time. It was just I just wanted to drink. And you know how the enemy works. That's okay. You know, it's all right. You know, it's cool. Your homies do it. You know what I mean? You're by yourself. Just have a beer, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like that pie for like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
4 years just drinking every single day until one day.
So were you a functioning alcoholic? Like you would you go to work at this times or were
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. I would go to work sometimes drunk.
Wow.
Drunk, yeah. And come home, drink a beer. And you know, it was just to the point where it was taking over my life, as in I was making that my idol.
Yeah.
Like I would rather have a beer than have food in my tummy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where one day I literally had like 2 cases all to myself, just drinking and drinking and drinking nonstop.
Wow.
And you know, that night, it was a night that it was a celebration of what I was accomplishing in my life, because back then I was still low riding. I was still
Okay.
low riding. I got to the point on my car where I'm just done with it. I succeeded. I am where I'm at. So I started celebrating. I celebrated a little bit too hard. You
Yeah.
know, I can laugh about it now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
at that time I wasn't laughing. I literally woke up in the hospital,
Oh, wow.
not even knowing why I was there.
Wow.
The doctor came out to me. He goes, "You're lucky you came in because everything in your body could have exploded,
Really?
and you wouldn't be here."
Exploded?
Yes, because I had so much beer, alcohol, poison in my body that it was just literally just ready just to one more beer. He told me I would have been dead.
Wow.
So they had all this IV hooked up to me, you know, because they were hydrating me, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
hydrating
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And one thing that really changed everything was my little girl coming in crying, saying
How old was she at the
she
time?
was 4.
Ooh.
And her watching me hooked up to stuff like that, it was something that it wasn't pleasing to her, you know, because
Yeah.
she's seen her dad in the hospital bed, you know, not getting up, not playing with her, not giving her hugs, not giving her kiss, you know, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And a year after that, that's when my grandfather died. And of course, there I go again. I
Yeah.
started drinking because now I'm just mad at the world because
Yeah.
he was like literally my father. My mom is the one that raised me, so I was only raised by one parent.
Yeah.
But he was the one that showed me how to be a man. You have to work. You have to work for your family. You have to support your family. He's the one that
Yeah.
laid down the rules.
Now, did he ever drink?
Yes. Oh yeah. Way before he got saved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Way before he got saved. So he's telling me you got to provide for your family. You got to. So he's the one that literally told me how to be a man, showed me how to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, and when he passed away, I didn't have nobody.
Yeah.
So I thought at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I didn't have nobody. So what did I do? Straight to the bottle again. Bam, just went to the bottle. But then I was like, you know what, this ain't gonna solve anything because it didn't solve anything in the beginning when I was in the hospital. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So this is not gonna bring my grandfather back.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, everybody out here is an overcomer. You know,
Amen.
we can overcome anything that we put our minds to it.
Amen.
First, we got to give ourselves to Christ.
That's it.
And once we give ourselves to Christ, then he will do the rest.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say you're going to change overnight. I mean, maybe God will change overnight, but
Yeah.
it's a process.
Yeah.
You know, he might change your mind. He might change your heart. He might change, you know, things that he wants to change, but totally cold turkey overnight. I mean, it's possible,
Yeah.
but at times that, you know, if we don't see that right away, just keep on having faith, because when I stopped drinking, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go back to it. And I did. I
Yeah.
went back to it, but not as heavy as I did before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, we just have to have faith, and we have to have, you know, wisdom and knowledge, knowing that, okay, you give yourself to God, your life to Christ, everything's going to change. Everything's going to change.
Yeah.
You know, might not happen right then and there, but in time it will change. You know, like my wife was saying about our daughter, you know, she was going through a season, but all that was going to go to pass.
Yeah.
You know, and she was going to really see the light, be like, oh man, when we're in sin, we're in blind. Amen.
Yeah.
We are blind in sin.
Yeah.
And we're just like, you don't see nothing but, I'm talking about me, but that bottle.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just something that I was just, that will go to my problems, just drink. And to overcome that, I literally had to stop. I just threw out everything. I had to stop just going even to the stores, because that's how tempted I was. When I go to Circle K or Q2, whatever, I say I have to get one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to just go where there was no beer. Where's no beer? They're everywhere. You know, but that was a test for me as well, as, hey, you know, you knew you were stuck on this. Now you're gonna go somewhere where you know it's gonna be there, and now let's see how you react. You know, the thing is that what I'm trying to say is that anybody can be a winner. Anybody can be a winner.
Yeah.
You know, just because you have a situation that you don't think you can overcome, that's just a devil just lying to you, because you can overcome anything.
Come on.
In your power, God's power. You know, just, I promise you it'll happen. It will happen to you.
Come on.
It will happen where, you know, oh, you know, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You got to get up and do it.
Yeah.
You know, the enemy is going to tell you otherwise, but you know what? You have to rebuke him in the name of Jesus, and you got to keep on going forward. You got to believe, and you have to trust in God.
Yeah.
You know, so anybody out there that's having problems drinking, drugs or whatever, you know, God is the number one source. He is the man of the man. He is the King of Kings, and I promise you, he will change your life.
Come on.
And if you don't believe me, try him. Just try him. Try him. That's the next song. Try him.
That's it.
You know, that's the next song right there. You know what I'm saying?
Was that old school song? Try me.
Try me. Try him.
Have you ever done that one?
No, I haven't. But
there
it looks
you
like
go.
it's
there
we go.
you got to remix that one now, man. Try me.
There you go. There you go.
Man, I'm gonna have to copyright. No, man.
But you know what? God is amazing, and God can change anybody. He's willing to change you only if you give yourself to Christ.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he knew you before you were born. He knows. God is so awesome. Check this out, guys. God is so awesome that he knows how much hair you have on your head.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is like, I mean, I got a gray hair head. I'm like, oh man, God's like, I know how many y'all are gonna come out. So better get used to it, you know. So, but God is just amazing. He's an amazing God, and he'll make you feel really, really happy and really joyful. You know, it's just sometimes, you know, like I said, we're not all perfect. The enemy comes to try to steal and destroy, but we have to be overcomers, and we have to overcome that in Jesus' name. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So
that's it. No, for sure, man, for sure. That's and you don't have do you have any temptations now of that whenever you go to the store?
Nothing whatsoever.
So all that is gone.
I'm really against that.
You don't struggle any
nothing. Nothing.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing to the testimony of what God can do, right?
Yes.
In time, of course, you know, with it's a process, like you said. But yeah, that's amazing.
And you know, when I go to work, I'm a chef, so they have liquor there, they serve beer and stuff, and just to smell it, I'm just like, oh, you know,
really
nasty.
So now it's the other way around. It just like
it's just you. Like because they're all like, oh, you can. I'm in front, and they're all like, oh, well, if the customer serve just some more beer, I go, I ain't serving nobody no beer.
Really?
I'm not touching the bottle, not because of the temptation.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to be responsible if somebody drives off. And I'm the one that served them that beer.
Yeah.
I can get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But
you know, and I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I'll make you a delicious pizza.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make you pasta, whatever.
Yeah.
But I will not. I refuse to serve anybody beer.
But see, that's like a spiritual thing. You get in trouble physically and spiritually. You know, serving somebody.
So it's amazing thing what God can do and what God can place in your heart.
No, for sure,
you
man.
know, and you know, if you don't know what God has for you, pray about it. Pray about it. Tell God, hey God, I need wisdom, I need strength, I need knowledge. What do you want me to do? You know?
Yeah.
And God will put it in your heart, and he'll show you what to do, and he'll open those doors. Trust me. He's done it to us, and I just never thought that I would be, you know, singing.
Yeah. Did you grow up wanting to sing, or?
Well, actually, I was raised by professional singers as my family. You know, like my tia, she was a professional singer. My cousins, you know, my grandfather, my grandparents, they were all professional singers.
Wow.
And I guess I just grew up in that, you know. And like I was telling my wife, when me and Roland would do our thing, we'll just do things in churches, like church here, never out like in the park. Well, yeah, we did something in the park, but not like concerts or ministry out there. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
done anything like
Yeah.
that. So when I met her, I was like, man, this is all new to me. You know what I'm saying? This is all
Oh,
new to
okay.
me.
So
So
doing all the outreaches
all
and
the
the concerts and
outreaches and the
stuff.
concerts and stuff, and big stages, blah blah blah. I'm like, cool, this is pretty cool. But you know what? I'm still humble about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if some professional singer's next to me. I'm just gonna say, I don't know who, secular or whoever is next to me.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna talk to them about God.
Yeah.
I don't care how big they are. I'm not gonna get, what do they say, starstruck?
Starstruck.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
No,
For sure.
no. I'm gonna be like, hey,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, you know about God, right? God
Yeah.
bless you, brother. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's a lot of people, oh, starstruck, oh my God, blah blah blah, picture. No.
Yeah.
We are vessels. We are called by God. We are soldiers of Christ out here.
Yeah.
We have to go tell everybody about Jesus. We're accountable for that.
That's it.
We are
Yeah.
accountable.
No, and we're all human, man. When it comes down to whether you have fame or not fame, we're all human. We're all the same. We all bleed the same. We all, we all gotta die. You know what I'm saying? So, and so yeah, Star Trek is Star Trek. It's I'm not even gonna say it again. I'm just gonna pass it because I can't.
He's like, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
What you said?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those weird things that people do get, but at the end of the day, man, they're just human beings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're just human beings. We're all the same,
Mm-hmm.
and it's what matters is where we go after this, right?
Yes.
Is we going to heaven or we going to hell?
Yep. Yep.
So that's when I get to heaven, I'm gonna be struck off of God.
Yeah, you got it.
You see how I pushed that?
Straight.
I pushed that one in, baby. Yeah, no, Spanish was my first language.
Oh, okay.
And but now I speak it kind of not that great. I speak it good, but not great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because but I had to learn English, and then so sometimes my Spanglish comes out. Sometimes it comes out.
So
things.
instead of share.
Yeah, the share. Yeah, no, my kids. Oh man, they'll ask me to say certain things like that. Even my wife, right? And they're like, "Say this, Dad. Say this," and they just laugh. And I'm like, "What? I'm saying it right. Like you say it." And then they say it. I'm like, "I'm hearing the same thing. I don't know what you're hearing, but we're saying the same thing." Yeah. No, definitely. Anything you guys want to share before we get out of here or anything?
Anything?
How do they share? So they find you through Creative Image on Facebook?
Yes, on
right?
Facebook it's Creative Image. Just Creative Image. On YouTube is Creative Image Music.
Okay.
I think it's on Facebook too, Creative Image Music. Yeah, Creative Image Music on Facebook. I only have two. It's just Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't have like Instagram. I mean, I do, but it's my personal page.
Yeah.
It's just too much for me to control, myself. So
no, it gets to be too much. I have a lot of that stuff, dude, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's too much. Why can't we just gather in one?
So I just keep it simple. I have Facebook. Facebook is Creative Image Music. That's where I'm going to be at. That's if I'm going to put out new music, that's all the information that's going to be on there.
Yeah.
YouTube is all my music, which you can find on there.
Find the music
videos, yes, bumping. And pretty soon here we're going to be working on another video with Brother Ike.
And do you have your stuff on Spotify and all that? Or
no. After I get the,
but you do, right?
She does, I think.
No,
so.
out of all these years, I've never.
Really, I thought it was.
It's just been more through YouTube and Facebook and Instagram recently. But a lot of different of the other artists are like, "Hey, I'll help you." Like I don't know if you know Deuce from California. He was from California.
Yeah.
But him and Enigma, he's like, "Hey, you haven't."
Yeah.
I was still stuck on Reverb Nation. I had.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then he goes, "I see you still have Reverb Nation." I was like, "Hey, they don't call me OG for nothing.
Yeah. No, yeah.
but-
Reverb Nation used to be
Oh, yeah.
the thing back
It
then.
used to be.
I remember you used to rank you. I don't know if they still rank or
They
what.
they still send little ranks here.
Yeah,
and there,
they
but
do
I'm
the
just
ranking
like,
and stuff. But
yeah,
it's kind of weird
it
ranking.
is.
It's
Mhm.
really weird ranking.
Yeah.
I think I was like number 1 at one point, and I don't know how.
Yeah, you're
I think it just goes by the area, like how many rappers there are in your
yeah,
area. I think it
area, I
is.
think it does.
It's just like I was the only rapper. I'm number 1, yeah. And then I moved, and I'm like, I'm 120. Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah, no, that's crazy. And yours is not on Spotify or anything, huh?
No, after the
Okay.
new album comes out, then after that I'll start putting it on platforms
Okay.
and stuff like
Then
that.
we'll be
But I think
doing different.
I don't know. I'm all for albums. But like to me, it feels like singles are the thing of
Yeah.
right now.
Yes, yes.
Like because then that's how people listen to it. You know, we don't actually go buy a whole CD. Man, I have a box full of CDs that I don't know what to do with, man. Because like, who has CD players anymore?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and like I have a whole box full. If anybody hit me up.
I have some boxes of the old album too. I just give them away. I give them
Wow.
away or else if at events I'll just
Yeah.
say, hey, if you
Yeah,
wanna buy it.
like I'm like, do people even listen to CDs anymore? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some people out
Yeah.
there,
Mhm.
but it's amazing though. Like, so I think singles are the way to go.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to do like an album release party, it's cool.
Yeah.
To have the full album and then do the concert and stuff. But singles is where it is, man. Ever since all this digital and everything, like, kids just go look at that certain song,
Yeah.
and play it over and over and over and over. Just imagine back in cassette tapes, right?
Yeah.
Right, like
Oh, yeah.
having to rewind it for that one
for the
song.
one song, yeah.
Yeah, imagine that today for a kid.
That would
They'd be throwing or smashing
Yeah.
stuff.
They're
They'd
like,
be,
is this touchscreen?
what
or
is
something?"
this?
Nope. Press this.
Yeah. How do I listen to the song again? You got to rewind it.
I got a what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
horrible.
yeah. But yeah, no, that's cool. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Anything else you guys want to say
Yeah.
before we get out of here?
The song I do have a song out there. It's "Praise Your Name." So that one we're gonna be doing a music video.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I haven't been still for too long.
I'm gonna
We're just-
crash it. I'm gonna.
That's-
I'll be in the
Everybody-
background passing by.
everybody's invited. Yeah, everybody.
No.
I'll be sure to send you a personal invite so
Yeah.
you guys can go there.
Oh,
But yeah, so we're planning on doing that. I'm looking towards September, but I gotta hit up Brother Ike to see his
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah.
But
Well,
Yeah.
it's a great time because it gets a little cooler.
yes,
Right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
it's
that's
like
kind of the idea.
this is what I say about Arizona. It's like the devil just farted in your face, man.
it's for real, bro.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
How
Walk
rude.
outside, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday I was driving and in my truck it said 127,
Yes.
I bet.
but on my Google phone it said 110.
Yeah.
I don't know who's lying here. It felt like 127 to me.
Yes.
But my Google phone's like, oh no, it's only 110. Calm down. Like, no, you calm down.
No, you calm down.
It's hot out here. Let me put you out here for a minute. You start crying, right?
Mhm.
The phone starts like, hey, we're too hot, right? We're too hot. Do you ever get that
Yes.
when we go to shows, when
Yeah.
we're doing shows,
Yeah.
my phone's like,
It's overheating.
it's overheating. Like, hey, get me out of here. We're at a show.
Yeah.
You power through it.
Yeah.
We're here to do a job. Yeah. No, yeah. It's no, that's cool. That's cool. Anything else?
Just go check out my YouTube page at Creative Image Music, and watch the video bumping, like, just subscribe, and hit that notification button, and you'll be getting a lot of notifications from me.
Yeah, and I'll get you guys' links to all that stuff, and I'll put it on the description. That way, people can check it out. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for
for
saying
having us,
yes,
yeah.
man. You guys are an amazing power couple.
Amen.
Like that's
Thank you.
of God, and
Thank
that's
you.
because you have a lot of Christians and stuff, but to be a power couple like you guys, that's amazing.
Amen.
To be doing ministry together, doing all kinds of stuff together, music and all that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing. And so you guys are doing a great job. I
Thank
love
you,
the
thank you.
music, man. I love some of that. I'm not too much into oldies, but I like all kinds of genre.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And so last time I was bumping some of your music, and you know, and I just stop. Sometimes I bump some of your music. I bump everybody.
Right,
Like
right.
I rock sometimes, and like, you know, like, and I have like a wide like sometimes I'll even listen to like some cumbias and stuff, and people are like my kids are always tripping out on me. They're like, "That's
Like,
listening
really,
to
Dad?
that's what,
He's
like,
like, it's a
yeah,
cumbia kind of day, all right?
yeah." I have a range, right? And even in my own music, I go from like I got rock songs, and I got rap songs, and I got Spanish and English. So I do, you know, and people are like, "Hey, why don't you just stick to one?" You know, they're like, you know,
so
you'd be,
hard.
yeah, you'd be greater if you just stick to one. I'm like, yeah, I probably would, but it's artist, right?
Yeah.
Like I see it as creatively. Like
Mhm.
I see art. You know, I don't like. I'm just gonna do what makes me happy. If you
Yeah.
love it, cool. If you don't, it's cool. Some people
Right.
like, you know, some of my rock songs. Some people don't like my Mexican songs. Some people, you
Yeah.
know, it's,
Mhm.
but that's how it is,
Right.
and that's the great thing and beauty about creating stuff, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
So it's just art, it's artistic,
Mhm.
and sometimes my artistic methods don't work for some people. They just don't get it. They're like, we don't know what you're doing, we don't know what you're saying, but it is cool
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
long as I'm me, you know, as long as you guys are you
Yeah.
doing what God has called you to do.
Amen.
That's what matters,
Amen.
you know.
Mhm.
And because I might do something different than you do something different, but that's how God created us.
Yes.
And the great thing is that we can come together like this and create something beautiful, even
Mhm.
though we're different.
Yeah.
You know, just even this
Exactly.
podcast, we're creating something beautiful, even though we're different. We
Mhm.
come from different walks of life. And so I love that. But you guys are doing great, man. Keep
Amen.
up the
Thank
good
you.
work.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
be
you.
praying as you guys go to Texas. And Texas, if you're listening to this, go check them out.
Yes.
Because it's going to be on fire, man.
Amen.
It's going to be on fire. I know they're bringing it. So you better bring your grandma, bring your sister, bring your kids, bring everybody,
Everybody.
you know? But all right, guys. God bless you guys. We're going to get out of here. Until next time, bye.
Bye-bye.
Where's my cursor? Where is it? We're still here.
No, just kidding.
Where? Oh, there we are. Okay. Hold on. We got to go here. I will not edit this out. So whoever's still here, I will not edit this out for whatsoever reason. I'm just not going to do it. What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by D1G Apparel. D1G Apparel is a faith-based clothing company created by yours truly, D1G. We got them faith hats. We got them the Lion of Judah shirts. You know what I'm saying? We got the Faith and Believe shirts. We got them Jesus Water shirts, the Game Over hoodies, and yes, we got them Believe shoes. That's right. Your boy designed some shoes. Go check it out at d1gapparel.com. Yeah. Yo, I'm back. The number one G. Here we go. This episode is brought to you by Let's Fly Products. Let's Fly Products is focused on a natural, organic way to help you be the best you and live a healthier life. Guys, go get your lion's mane. I do that. I do the lion's mane. It's a supplement, and it's great for your focus, your mental clarity. It's just great for your brain. It'll give you a brain boost. I also take the chaga. It's good for your health. They also have this thing called cordyceps. Cordyceps is good for working out. They also have some great coffee with a combination of the lion's mane and the chaga in it. So it's not just a coffee, it's a healthier coffee with great benefits. So go check them out at letsflyproducts.com.